Seira. I am a trainer here at Partners, and I am super excited to meet with Benny's parents. Benny is about a year and 9 months. Benny is a border collie mix. Some of the biggest things that we're going to be working on with him is his leash pulling and reactivity, more engagement with him so he's not pulling and reacting at other dogs, and crate training him more so that he's not screaming and whining. I'm really excited to start off this first week. It's going to be awesome. All right, and then tell me why you guys are here today. What are your goals for Benny?
We have like 3 main goals. We want to work on his recall. He tends to, like, if he's busy doing something, he's like won't care about anything else and won't come back to us.
Yeah.
He definitely, I'm calling this reactivity, but I don't know the word for it. He like does a lot of like leash pulling, jumping, chewing on the leash. If he sees another dog, it's like, oh my gosh.
Really any external stimulation, I'd say.
Yeah, it's just like
people moving fast, you know, like just things like that.
This, I don't know if we can change, but a nice goal would be to help him with his whining. Like
we can work on that.
He whines a lot, especially when he's in his crate.
Okay, cool.
He is crate trained, but it's like mostly like in the morning I'll get up and I'll like start getting dressed, and the second I'm out of bed he starts whining until we let him out.
Yeah.
Basically.
Okay.
Sit.
Basically, overall, like we want to be able to have him like roam around the house.
Yeah.
And because right now we use a house leash still because he will like get into things, and we've had to take him to the vet multiple times because he's eaten like blankets and stuff.
Oh, wow.
And so we're like worried about letting him roam around the house, but like we want him to.
No, I totally get it, yeah.
We also have a cat, so it's kind of a concern there where he's just super, you know, like she said, reactive. So we don't want him chasing the cat around, and the cat actually has like epilepsy, so he has seizures whenever he gets really stressed out. They're not like scary, like really, really bad seizures, but still we'd like to avoid that stress for him if we can. We've done a lot of training with him in the past too. We went through Zoom Room. We did probably, 8?
He did their puppy school, and then he did more of their, whatever the next class
I'd say like
is.
3 or 4 months worth of training like weekly.
Oh, okay.
And he's very well trained. He just is not,
He just has a lot of energy,
he does not have a lot of good behavior, I would say.
Okay, perfect, yeah.
But he's gotten pretty good at like position work. Like he knows heel, he knows bridge, he knows like how to switch and things like that. Sit, lay down, those things. We tried to get him socialized as a puppy.
Yeah.
We got him exposed to all those things. And honestly, the problems have kind of gotten worse, I would say, over time. Like where it's just, this energy is.
You said he's about 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's usually where like the dog, kind of their mindset and that stage of life cycle where they transfer over from being a puppy kind of into an adult. So you'll notice a lot of, I mean, for him, it doesn't sound like he has anything too intense, but especially with a lot of those like reactive dogs, things like that, you know, if it's not taken care of early on, you know, that's when it's going to turn into actual aggression, resource guarding, this and that is usually around that like 18 to 24 months of age. So that's not uncommon that you guys are noticing things get a little bit worse. Hello, my name's Chase. I'm our Team Success Manager at Partners for our Scottsdale location. I'm going to be one of the trainers going in for Mr. Benny. We just finished up his check-in. Definitely got a lot of stuff to work on with him. You know, we finished up talking to the owners. Luckily, the owners seem pretty educated. You know, they've already done a pretty good amount of training with him. Just some basic stuff. So he has, you know, the basic obedience on him, understands how to walk on a leash, his sits and downs, all of that good stuff. So they seem like they have a good understanding, you know, on kind of the training that we do here. But, you know, they definitely needed a little bit more education on some of the training equipment that we use, especially with like the e-collar, the prong collar, the training collar. They were pretty reluctant on that. You know, they got some advice from their vet telling them they shouldn't use a lot of this equipment. But again, you know, us trainers here, we're the professionals. So I kind of just gave them an open opinion, you know, on my thoughts, you know, truthfully on the e-collar, the prong collar, and they seem to kind of open up a little bit, but still a little bit reluctant on that. So if it's necessary, you know, I'll give them a call, let them know the equipment that we're going to use. But first several days, you know, regardless, I always just like to use a slip leash, maybe a martingale, work the dog on that way. And then, you know, giving him a couple days, we'll see, you know, how he responds to that type of stuff. If we need more intense equipment, you know, they were open to it, but definitely going to be something that we have to ease into. But all in all, you know, it seems like this dog understands his basics, so, you know, we shouldn't have to focus too much on shaping, you know, his patterning, creating all the obedience and everything. But from what they told us, you know, it seems like he has the training, but it's just a lot more behavioral issues. You know, he's a super, super sweet dog, but constantly, you know, on 150% energy levels. You know, he's very rambunctious, very aloof, very vocal, noisy, easily distracted. So not a puppy, but kind of seems and acts like a puppy. So, you know, biggest goals going into this first week is obviously just calming down, you know, his brain, kind of teaching him the proper mindset, you know, creating a lot more control in a big crazy facility like this. So, you know, a lot of our first few sessions mainly with me is just going to be simply engagement, you know, establishing a relationship. I want him to understand, you know, in a big crazy facility like this with a bunch of dogs, new people, sights, sounds, smells, toys, and all of that good stuff, that, you know, me and Seira and the rest of the trainers are the most valuable thing. So teaching him, you know, that interacting with us, engaging with us, you know, we have everything to offer him and nothing else in this building does. So just establishing that relationship, like I said, you know, kind of just calming him down a little bit, working on a little bit of his vocalization, doing a lot of crate training, just teaching him how to, you know, stay controlled, calm in there. And then slowly but surely, you know, start getting into the obedience and everything. But first several days, you know, that's never my first worry. Like I said, you know, just establish that relationship, kind of calm him down, see what he has to offer us and go from there. I don't think he's going to be too tricky, you know, once he kind of settles down. You know, I've already messed with him a little bit. He's very food motivated, smart, responds to all the commands that I've given him, but now we just kind of need to teach him kind of to do, you know, the right stuff on his own without the guidance coming from us trainers, and then, you know, in a couple weeks coming from his owners. But so far, you know, haven't done too much with him, but he seems like a good dog, and we look forward to working with him and see what we can do. So right now, I got Mr. Benny here. I'm gonna try working him into one of our daycare yards for the first time, you know, to seeing if hopefully that'll help him get some little energy out. Hey, sit. Good, good. But also just kind of give me a good tell of where his socialization is at with dogs. You know, I always like to just see how they do, make sure, you know, obviously if they're good, we don't have to do too much work, but if he gets a little bit more anxious, nervous, or a little snappy or anything like that, you know, I want to make sure I know that type of behaviors early on, just so I have enough time to address it with him before he goes home. I don't think I'm going to have any issues, you know, but obviously he has a lot of energy, so I'm assuming he's going to kind of go into the yard a little hot. Let's go, buddy. Let's go out, everybody. Good boy, come on. Good. I like that, walking in with confidence, already curious, going up to the dogs, checking everybody out. Good boy. Good boy. Don't jump on me. You're all muddy. But no, I figured he was going to be doing fine, but I like, you know, how confident he came in. Like I said, he's already very curious. Good boy. Good boy. I'll let you off leash, buddy. Good boy. I like to see this though, you know, he's definitely very food motivated. Obviously we have about, you know, 5-6 dogs kind of flooding us, trying to get the treats that I'm giving him, but that's not affecting him at all. You know, obviously still very, very engaged with me, wanting to do whatever he can to kind of get this treat out of my hand. So I like that response. You know, he shows me all the good signs, you know, that he has the potential in him, but definitely, you know, got a little too overly rowdy in the daycare yard. You know, it's just all a overstimulation issue. You know, he just got a little bit worked up, too much drive and energy going through his body. He's got a little mouthy trying to hump the dog, so that's why I have him on leash right now, kind of just doing a little training session with him. But first time being in daycare, you know, so I'm actually very impressed with just, you know, how engaged he is with me right now. Working on leash around all these other dogs, walking through them, not really even caring, noticing too much. So you got it in you, dude. You do. You just gotta calm you down. Good boy. Yes.